Okay, so last time I made the biggest decision of my whole Magic career, the idea that I had like an excess of gold, the most I've ever had, like 15K or 17K or whatever. And it's like I had been waiting to do my third, only, I think, third ever 10K draft. And I can do it anytime, but it's like, I should try to at least do one per expansion, one per set. So Wilds of Eldraine, I haven't done one yet. And I should try to do them towards the beginning. Because then, like, even if I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know the cards, more than likely you're going to have the best chance then. If you do it now, everybody's metagaming it to death. Whereas I don't really care, and I wouldn't even know, some of the new cards if I see them, because I'll think, oh, maybe that's just something you know, there's still so many cards in the game I don't know, period, or don't really see often. So this I probably won't get. I was really eager to try to get to rank 35. I forget when exactly it ends, but we're already like a month in. So you'll have like 2 more months to get from rank 15 to rank 35, which might not seem that bad, but it's probably just not going to happen for this very, very cool looking card back. I almost feel like it might have been available. Like I've seen this one before, but it might not have been the exact same one. Like some of these pictures are so familiar. It could just be there's certain cards like that. Even the blue one, as much as I hate blue overall, looks pretty sick. The green one actually doesn't look too good. It's kind of too dim and doesn't really stand out. Yeah, instead of doing a 10K draft in a free-to-play first playthrough of this game, basically, I chose to instead buy not even the pet that I was talking about from last year. Like, oh, I waited a year, and maybe for Halloween they'll do the same one as last year. That skeleton who holds the lantern. That one I might have been willing to buy. But no, instead I buy the stupid fucking pumpkin one that I didn't even like how it looked. Just because when you have that much gold, it feels like, oh, you want to do something with it. And I haven't gotten a pet in a super long time. I've had this black dragon for like way too long, and I don't think I even used this pet either. Like last time, I just had it, but I didn't like equip it or put it out there. Yeah, let's waste even more on these. Now I'm pretty close to still being able to do a 10K draft, all things considered. So that really was the only one that it should still show it there actually. Like even if I have it, it should show like that's what's available right now as far as the rare one. And the soul ring gets so outclassed by the fact that you had the one ring. Who would have bought this if you had the option to get that instead? Right, like obviously you didn't always have that option, but I think we still have, yeah, a mythic wild card that I'm just sitting on because I don't really have an idea for what I want to do with it. I've bought very few packs in this run, and I almost wish I hadn't bought any, so I could say like it's a free to play no pack run where you only get packs from just playing and getting rewards and stuff like that. Because yeah, I've almost never bought a pack with gold straight out, because my whole philosophy would be very similar to what I would do in Hearthstone. Is like at the beginning always like you would just, it's a free to play thing, but also why would you buy a pack when you could just do arenas and drafts basically in this, you're gonna get a pack for that no matter what, and then you could get your money back that you put in to buy in, so you get like an infinite loop where you're getting free packs, free drafts, because the act of doing well in a draft is going to pay for itself. But the problem with that is just that you have to actually do well in drafts in the first place, and it's obviously very time consuming. They need to update this picture. This has been here like the whole time I played the game, like pretty much in a year's worth of play, right? I think they've always had that. The goal to try to get to that rank in whatever rank 35 would be to do these as much as you can at least, because that would be like 2,500 experience, which is, according to this, like only one level. And I'm surprised I haven't done this. Just it's free gold, and I don't know how long that'll stay there, but maybe the whole expansion. But you would think that would make me more eager to do a draft, but I guess not. Yeah, I will try to do like some of your favorite card style in this historic festival. Once upon a time, a trail. I like these unique ones that don't have to do with like the current expansion or anything. Like the 30th anniversary one was very fortuitous timing, for which I got one of the sickest card backs in the whole game, actually. Very lucky. It's like the church window with all the different color symbols represented on it. I forget where you see that sometimes. You maybe see it in the background in the mastery tree or something. Once upon a time, a trail of crumbs, clues, and coins led deep into the woods. Which will you find first? I like all these RP scenarios too that it poses to you. Like you play one of those adventure cards in the middle of a game, and you're like going through a maze or something. Bring a 60 card deck from among any cards available. Put old favorites and new contenders. Yeah, it's like playing the historic format. Wow, what a cool novel concept. It's like when they do twist mode in Hearthstone. Wow, you can use these old cards that you totally couldn't use the whole time, except you always could. It's just play wild, just play historic. In this event, players get one free treasure, clue, and food token on their first 3 turns in whatever order they want. It does seem interesting, and it's not that expensive. I might try it. There really is no format to this series, right? I just kind of play it, and I would rather do the traditional draft because even though it's also 10K, considering how short these episodes are, I don't really have time to do 7+ games, 9 games potentially, if you go like 7 and 2. Right, so this would be perfect, but I can't afford it. Obviously, for a very stupid reason. I really had an excess. That might be the highest goal total I've ever had, too. And it almost doesn't fit with this type of deck, but I'll do it anyway. It would almost fit more with a black deck. That's just from what we just opened. How do you even change the cosmetics of a deck? I forget. Like, even if I want to change the card back. Yeah, I actually haven't done that in so long that I don't even know. You would go to... Maybe it's somewhere here. Or no, maybe it's just on another screen altogether. Like here, profile. But then would that mean it saves to every single deck? Proto and Sam is what I got for the last mastery tree or whatever. Right, but that I only had to get like rank 25 to get, which I barely did, which shows you how little I played. This month, or not this month, but this expansion, I made a point to try to play more just to try to farm out for that to get to rank 35, but that should almost be what the format is when I say the series has no format. If I don't get to get that card back, I have to delete my account, but that would just be an amount of how much raw playtime you put in. Frodo and Sam are 2 hobbits from the Shire who selflessly volunteered to destroy the One Ring. I don't know that they really volunteer as much as they're sort of pressured into doing it, but the One Ring in the Fires of Mount Doom, they braved near impossible odds throughout their quest, relying on the strength of friendship to survive. I don't really have any emotes. I don't remember where or when this even came from, or it's a sticker. All equipped emotes will be, yeah, they... Hearthstone has thousands of voice lines and all this amazing voice acting for their heroes and hundreds of portraits, and they all have unique interactions, all this kind of stuff. Magic the Gathering has this dude. This is what we get. Like, what does that even mean? Like, how? I don't even know how you use it. I've seen people use stuff like that, but whatever. The companion is at least cool. Like, you can see that's the only other one I have, though. I just kind of felt like I wanted... It's cool, but I'm not really a big fan of it myself. I just got it basically because I wanted something. This is pretty cool. Some of these are ruined just by the outline of it, right? Like, it looks so good. I love this picture, but the fact that it has that stupid border kind of ruins it. This one's pretty cool, pretty minimalistic. It's funny how I never knew what the art of Magic meant. Like the little, whatever, there's like that pitchfork looking thing. Yeah, that. Right? That's to represent like the 5 colors, I guess. And obviously the 5 colors themselves. But I never knew that's what Magic was. Right? So even people, on my first episode, people were asking me like, what's your favorite color? And I just answer like, oh, it's like orange or it's like green. But I'm saying that like as if in real life. Not in the fucking context of the game, because I didn't know that it had, like, why are people asking me my favorite color randomly? What a random icebreaker type of question. Try to walk up to a girl and ask her out on a date by asking her what her favorite color is. That's perfect. But no, it was just obviously because I had no idea. That's kind of a beginner's trap moment or whatever, like a trick question. Okay, so what do I want to do? Basically, just do the daily quest. I don't mind doing that. Again, I always like these kind of off-the-wall ones. But next time, maybe I should set up to try to do the 10K draft, which this would kind of ruin that chance because I wish I at least had gems, because this isn't going to give me anything. Right, this will just give me... I don't know, because we'll be like right on the border. This will give us 1,500, or you know what? The act of doing it, would that count as a quick draft, or how? What does it mean, quick draft? Is that there's traditional? Oh, here we go, quick draft, 5,000, and it would give me That one's almost like free to do then, right? Complete 3 quick draft matches. I would get 3,000 just for simply playing that. So it would only cost me 2,000, which is still more than I want to do, but like one card at a time. Now this is an old expansion, obviously, so it's almost like, why would you want to do it? The cards will be added to your collection. You will use them plus basic lands. Play games, receive prizes. My whole style of play should be that I'm only doing drafts most of the time, and that's my favorite thing to do. But it's just so you have to actually perform well in order to do that. So, and you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it because I'll get 3,000 back at least. Even if I go 0 and 3, I'll be fine. This seems like it's a private draft, though, right? Now, this doesn't count towards what I was saying, but I'll still do it. Where I did that little format the one time, the one episode where I said I would be like green primary and then black secondary as far as my next draft. But that's meant for my 10K draft. But I'll still do it here anyway. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature land. Untap it. If it's a creature, it becomes a 0/0. This is fine. I love when these weird effects actually win you a game, though. Like, wow, this can't be blocked by artifact creatures, and that ends up being why, you know, not why you have the card. Certainly not in a draft context, but so here we have to do black. As long as you've drawn true or more cards, it gets Death Touch and Lifelink. Ravenous Gigamole. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may put a creature from among them into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1. Like, it's okay, but it's only a 2/3. 2 mana as additional cost to cast. You would think green would be sort of a favorite in drafts too, because maybe it's too broad to say that, but because of the high value and good statting, it's like 5 mana 10/10 is just good, right? You don't have to qualify it with effects or support or combos. It's like, it's just good, period. So more often than not, that's going to be more useful than a lot of other shit. But then again, people do come up with crazy combos that we've seen so many times in drafts, so it's not that hard to do, I guess, but you would normally not think to try to draft for that, because especially in the beginning, like, you don't start off saying, oh, I'm going to make this crazy combo deck, because you don't know what you're going to be offered. So additional cost to cast to sacrifice a creature. I don't know. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. I mean, that's fine, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to try to do only green and black. I don't always do hybrid decks for drafts, but when I do, I stay very stubborn with them. Like, I don't know how you're going to do a rainbow deck of like 4 or 5 things. The thing about those 2 criteria for drafts that we've seen people do countless times, you go into a draft and you're not drafting for value. You're drafting for combos and synergies and crazy stuff somehow, even though you don't know exactly what you're going to get. But then you're also not drafting 1 color just to stick to something and commit. Or even just 2, like at most. You're drafting for like fucking rainbow, all 5 colors, and you can just deal with doing both of those. Maybe it wouldn't have been like that earlier on in the lifespan of the game, but it just feels like people can kind of do whatever they want. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, +1, like, there's no real limit to it. Which, to be fair, like, if you look at Hearthstone now, it's just all kinds of crazy shit that's happening. Whereas ordinarily, in some ways, people would find it boring. It's like, oh, you're just drafting for value. The effects don't matter. The types don't matter. Nothing matters. It's just whatever, you know, 3 mana, 3/3. You just take it. When an artifact enters +1, reach Death Touch. When it dies, put up to 1 other target card from graveyard, bottom of owner's library. None of these. Yeah, see, speaking of which, I'm doing that just for the raw value of it. The fact that I block out so many of these colors makes it kind of, you know, it limits maybe my flexibility. You could do either of these. 6 mana, 5/4. Perfect example of why Death Touch wouldn't be good, though, because it's too expensive. You want it to be like a 1 mana 1/1 or something. Power Plant Worker gets +2/+2 until end of turn for 3. If you control creatures named Mine Worker and Tower Worker, put 2 +1/+1s instead. Put a +1/+1 on target creature against reach, trample, hexproof, indestructible. That could be good just even to save something that's about to be destroyed. Just give it indestructible or even just hexproof. Or I guess that wouldn't work because it already would have been targeted and then you're reacting to it, right? It's instant. I always use that 1 mana card for the same purpose. Transform like my 10/10 into a 1/3 turtle with hexproof, so it just, or no, wait. Yeah, how does that work? If they already targeted it with something, I guess because it transforms it, then it would make it do it again, but like they target it with effect that destroys it, and then you give a hexproof in the middle, but they already did it, so I don't know whether that would work normally. Gain 1 life for each creature on the battlefield. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you this turn by creatures with power 3 or less. I kind of like this for some reactive purpose. If it wasn't instant, it'd be useless. Okay, this we have to take just because of how I'm doing it. Or that's always what people would do in Hearthstone, is like do a draft where you have to pick the new at the beginning of an expansion, where you have to pick the new expansion cards. So the only choice you get is if you get 2 or 3 cards offered from, you know, the current expansion. But if not, then it's just automatic. You just choose regardless of value whatever is new just for the sake of it. We only have black here. It doesn't even matter what it is. We're just gonna do it. Return artifact or creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Create a 1/1 token. Let's see. We have to at least play 3 games. So even if we go 0 and 3, this one's gonna be shit. But at least we have some neutral stuff to get. When it dies, you get 2 life. Sacrifice to exile non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+2 on return. Draw a card. Like, these are so inefficient and expensive. 1 flash. You may cast a spell with flash at any time you could in an instance for 7. Sacrifice to destroy target permanent. I can't imagine that being good, but whatever. That could be in our sideboard that I don't actually use ever. That is one true format of the series. I've never used a sideboard, and I've never... No, I mean, I almost could say that with Planeswalkers, that I almost never use Planeswalkers, but I have, obviously. But no, yeah, that's the true format that I could say. That always makes it unique. No sideboarding allowed. Although I haven't done that many drafts that would really require that. Or even like in a best of 3, if you were, you know, if people are able to do that. You don't necessarily have to take black here. You could take a neutral. But there's nothing really special about it. When you commit so hard to one color, it kind of punishes you because you just can't do anything now. Whenever the refinery, non-token, blah blah blah. There's so many things that make the draft so hard, like the fact that you have so many cards to choose from, but then the colors kind of cuck you, and you're on a time limit and all this kind of stuff. Which here, at least, you're not. +2/+0. Not if these are very synergistic sort of effects. I've rarely won games in drafts. I guess I could just end the sentence there, period. But no, I rarely won them in the traditional way. Like, you just summon good value stuff and you just kind of outlast them or whatever. It's more like people are winning in these crazy ways that almost feel like a constructed deck. But as it enters the battlefield, choose artifact, creature, enchantment. Spells of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast, just permanently. That could be good if it's just an ongoing effect. That almost seems too good. 5 mana, 5/3 trample. Attacks each combat if available. Like the old gorilla from Yu-Gi-Oh! That 2004 star thing that just you always have to attack. But like that's the whole point anyway. That was always one of my favorite cards just for the raw sheer value of it. Which is so fitting for like the green comparison here. Why I like green so much. Is give me something good standard and I can find a way to make it work, even though all these cheap removals do kind of clown you that way. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 for 0. When it enters, create a tap Power Stone token, add a mana, can be not going to be doing stuff with artifacts though too much. Okay, this we can't use no matter what. Okay, so what ends up happening now? Pack 2, pick 1. I don't really even understand remotely how drafts work still. I guess I haven't done that many, but... Because, like, this one you're doing by yourself, so... What is it doing? Like, is it simulating what other people would take, and then you're not able to take that going forward? Or, like, how does it know how to shrink down the collection here? When it enters, you gain 4 life, 4 mana, 4/4. And if a spell or ability your opponent controls causes you to discard it, put it on the battlefield. I think it's unlikely that you'll get value from that, but 4 mana, target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Now, there's much better, more efficient cards that destroy stuff with flying, right, from green. So that's bad for that effect, but I guess the flexibility of it is good. When it dies, okay, we've seen that. That's fine. Obstinate is a word that I often use to describe my style of play. Like, I'm just going to be like in chess or something, or even an arc. I was saying that, like, I'm just going to stay on the beach and just get to max level without even trying to do anything to put, so not putting my life at risk. Or like chess, like you're just playing in an obstinate way that just prevents your opponent from doing anything, even if you're not doing much yourself. You just kind of wait and let them destroy themselves. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card, sacrifice it, choose a basic land type. Not bad, but 5 mana 4/4. When it leaves, you gain 2 life. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, put a +1/+1. Target creature gets +1/+2. It fights target creature you don't control. That is good. Master's Rebuke type of shit. Whenever artifact enters, okay, that's fine with me. I don't always have removal, but when I do, it depends on me having stuff on the board anyway, which is always the way. Fuck it, dude. Not that we always have to take green, but green is meant to be my primary thing, and I haven't been offered enough of them. Maybe because it can kind of sense that I have a bias towards it. So the more of a color you pick at the beginning, the less it'll give you later. Or there's just less to draw from, I guess, in general. But any creature gets +1/+1 for each force you control. Generally, that would be pretty good, but 6 mana 5/5. When it enters, gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Let's actually do that, even though I don't think it's going to be that great. Encourages me to take even more green, though, as if I need any excuse to do that. Okay, that's good. Also, the same thing. Removal, rebuke type stuff. This is okay. I mean, I am just doing it in a... Oh, I should have done the other thing. In a boneheaded way. Like, just take the color that I chose. Waiting for other players. But there are no other players. Or at least I'm not on a timer, so... It must just be doing it in a simulated kind of way. Right, like AI is doing it just to... And the way this would work in real life is the same people you're doing the draft picks with are the people you end up playing, right? You're in like a tournament setting or whatever, however it works in real life. It wouldn't just be like you do the draft and then you just play random people around the world. I can't use most of this. It's +2/+1. It could be restricting my colors this way. Could be a very bad idea. Maybe that's why I do so bad. But you would think 2 colors should be enough. I don't really want to fuck myself by having like a million different ones to choose between. Target permanent becomes an artifact. I mean, you could combo that with something that's like a cheap way to destroy an artifact. Put it on a, some big creature you want to get rid of. Equipped creature gets +1/+0, has menace. Whenever a creature enters, like that could win you the game just because, they're not going to be able to block it and you could just fuck them over. We don't need this many of those, though. It's okay. 5 cards. You may put a permanent among the cards milled into your hand. Not really that good. 5 mana 4/5 as long as you draw 2 or more cards. I'm almost trying not to do too many black now. I just want to do only land because of that one stupid card that buffs stuff based on that. How many forests you have, even though that's not worth it at all. 0, sacrifice it. Look at the top card of the player's library. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. 5 mana whenever opponent casts a spell, they lose 5. Oh shit, I like that. That's actually an awesome card that I wouldn't mind. Not if I played as black actually in constructed. I almost save black just for drafts. This is such an awesome low type of thing that it just punishes you for playing spells, period. Although spell is kind of broad in this game because this is a creature spell, the way they actually call it. We can get yet another one of these, or 9 mana. You may have hulking metamorph. Enter the battlefield as a copy of an artifact or creature you control, except it's an artifact creature in addition to its other types. And its power and toughness are equal to... Okay, so basically 9 mana, 7/7. This is 5 mana, door to nothingness. Enter the battlefield tapped. Oh, this is like a world tree type of thing. Target oh shit, this is actually a win condition. You need 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 I mean 2 of everything obviously. Oh, should we make some sort of troll way to try to do this? The problem is we're never going to have those kind of lands. Or even if you had like stuff that gives you 1 mana of any color. Door to Nothingness. It's just a fascinating card, but I obviously can't use it here. I haven't actually... These must all be from the most recent expansion, right? Or maybe some... No. But this is meant to be 3 brothers. So how come I've never seen that before? Enters the battlefield tapped. Or it would mean that you would have to play it, and then the next turn, you could use all that shit. So, at least give them a chance to destroy it. Unless you have a combo thing that also says, like, untap something, untap artifact. Fog of War is okay. Elon Musk's favorite mechanic. That's why he doesn't like chess, or that's his favorite chess variant. He's saying, clowning chess. Oh, there's no Fog of War, there's no tech tree, there's no nothing. When Blanchwood Prowler enters, that would be kind of a fun idea for a chess-like game, isn't it? Not that Polytopia wasn't exactly like that, but, or even Fire Emblem, just like a chess game where you can keep upgrading stuff in a micro and macro sense, like over the course of the game, you can upgrade a piece and make it better or change it somehow. Every time you capture a piece, you get to level up a piece or something. Yeah, this is fine, I guess. This, man, we've been offered this like a million times, which in some ways is part of the fun. I always remember that in Hearthstone draft that I love. Like, you get more than X number copy of a card. Even if it's a legendary, you can get multiple of them. Just because, like, I'll still do it, but you can go over the max. Destroy non-artifact creature, which a lot of the ones we're going to see are going to be artifacts. I'm literally doing this just for the 1,000 gold thing, so it feels like, wow, you played 3 games, even if you lose all of them. Clearly, I don't draft in a very good quality way. He gets +3/+3 till end of turn. 3 mana, mill 5 cards, not really worth it. Fuck it, dude, I'll make the whole thing just about that. 5 mana, 4/5, as long as you've drawn true or more. That probably effect isn't why I want him, just general value. Whenever you sacrifice a lot of buff cards that I almost don't even want. I feel bad if somebody actually was waiting through me doing all this shit. Return target artifact or creature from your graveyard to your hand. That's what's funny actually about my commentary style, is like, it seems like I talk so much, or I do like all these long intros and whatnot. But the thing is, if you look at how I play stuff off stream, which I guess you couldn't because it's off stream, but the point is I would be very slow and really take my time, and so it almost fits. Like, you're just kind of saying what your thought process is, but you obviously can't say it as fast as you can think it, but still. That's why, like, chess players can never articulate what's actually going through their head, because they're going a million miles an hour calculating millions of moves, but then they just reduce it to a very superficial, misrepresentative take kind of analogy. That's the best way they can express it. Sacrifice it, blah blah blah, you may play it. Gains hexproof and indestructible. It is instant, but you won't be able to play it because it's white. The only stuff I put in the sideboard so far is just, I didn't want me to take that so badly. It's given it to me like 5 or 6 times, I guess. Or maybe it's only giving it because you're not taking it the previous time, but add 1 mana of any color. I'm surprised, yeah, that I haven't seen that door to, or you can put it right in there. Door to Nothingness more often. Waiting for server, so you only have 45 cards, so this is going to be pretty much shit. What is it doing now? Or wait, 57? Oh yeah, that's obviously because of the lands. I mean, I can't use any of these, so what's the point? Wait, but you won't even let... Or no, you can... Wait, can you play with more than... I mean, I wouldn't want to, but... 8 forest, 8 swamp. So let's just get rid of anything that's not... Even though some of these might be good. I'll just do it strictly by the color aspect. Right, get rid of everything that's not black or green. And we don't have too many blacks, is maybe what I thought. Even that's still not enough. Let's get rid of some of these that don't have that have extra copies. We don't really need that. I don't know how you get rid of just like one of them. Oh, like that. Just whatever way we can. Let's see if there's not something else we can add to this that maybe I missed out on. Or fuck it. This is the card that wanted me to take so bad, so I'll just do it. That's good. That's good. Whatever. So it's black and green the same way that we would do with the next 10K draft, because that's what that one episode was meant to determine. These gems would just be whatever in bonus. It's annoying because like you're doing two different currency types and you can't really exchange them between, or at least I don't think you can. Or even if you could, they would do it in a one-way direction that would force you to still buy them on the shop. I think when I first started playing, I even thought it was like you could only get the gems from buying them. That's not even true, obviously. So the best way to convert your gems into gold is just, or I mean, your gold into gems is just to do a draft that costs gold, and then you'll get gems from it like normally. Here, that does look pretty cool. For the green so far, you only need like one thing. But 2 +1/+1s for only fucking for 7 mana. Like some of these effects are so laughably stupid, but there might be some time where you 1 life for each creature on the battlefield, prevent all combat damage, doesn't matter. +3/+3. Additional cost to cast to sacrifice something. There's nothing I can really do then. We have Gandalf at home. Gandalf at home. Like none of them look very convincing. Even Frodo and Sam don't really look like they look like some sort of weird fan-made version of them. 3/2 artifacts cost 1 less to cast. I could destroy it, like I could give it like +3/+3. Can't be blocked by artifact creatures. Oh yeah, see, I was even saying that. I guess here it's not weird, but I mean even in constructed I would use that at times, just, or I don't know how it came into play. But like somebody happened to be using, right, like only artifact stuff, and so I'm countering her without even meaning to do it. Just do that for the sake of it, but he couldn't have blocked it anyway. And then you can still just hit him in the face, +3/+3. Yeah, that's good. And it just beats you to death with a fucking 2 mana 2/2. Or we're gonna actually get to 7 mana just to be able to do the effect. And you still won't be able to block it the whole time, so maybe it's better than I'm even giving it credit for. Like in this exact format. Okay, 2/1. I could give it +3/+3, but I should do that almost as a surprise finisher. No more land to play. 2/3. When it enters, mill 3 cards. You may put a creature from among them into your hand. I guess there wasn't one. Need to get him down to 5. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by creatures with power 3 or less. That's fine. I have plenty of mana to spare, I guess. Like, I have nothing else to play, but I don't have enough land, period. You can try to beat me in the damage rates, but this is at least fine. Like, +3/+3. There's nothing I can really do. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by creatures with power 3 or less. But this is kind of vague how it's written, because it's like, it could mean by your creatures too. But I can still do that to sort of surprise him. Like, I'm about to die, so I heal with this, and he's still got 5 health, but I finish him with that. We have 5. We need 1 more to be able to play that again. If you don't, put a +1/+1, but I guess I didn't get any in the first place. So it only gives it to you if you turn down the option. That's still fine with me, I guess. Becomes a 1/1. This is getting a little bit scary. Gain 1 for each creature on the battlefield. At least get me back up to 20. And it's a good time to stop all that shit too. Even all that trouble he went to just to do 6 damage, it wouldn't have been the end of the world, but... Okay, so you can play that, which is the best thing I'm going to be able to do. Then we keep hitting him in the face. This is such a perfect thing, and he doesn't have any removal for it. Give me something else I can play, though, dude. Yeah, I'll take it, because I have so much mana. Not a bad effect, it's just weird, because... Okay, so he is getting a little bit low, so unless he has healing too, he clearly doesn't seem to have any removal of any kind. Otherwise, he would have gotten rid of that. Tap an untapped artifact creature you control, add 1 mana of any color. I don't think mana is really his issue, it's just his hand size. General Fray. It feels like the first 2 wins are always easy, and then as soon as you get that second win, it becomes impossible. And the reward structure jumps up so much. It goes from like 400 to like 1500 or something. 400 to like 1200 between 2 and 3 wins. I'm not too bothered by that still. When it enters, get XX, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard, gets +3/+3. 5, 6, 7. He wouldn't be dead. Although this is kind of nice. That's going to discourage him from casting spells. You know what, let's just do it, and then let's just go face, because he's so close to dying that would make it very inconvenient for him, I bet. +3/+3 wouldn't be quite enough, though, unfortunately. That you'd have to block with something, too, or I guess you don't have to, but... We should win this, but whenever I say that, this game does have a potential for like going 100 to 0 with some sort of infinite loop crazy combo, just when you least expect it. But this should always make that a little bit inconvenient. You have to give up one of your combo cards or just die. I love this card, actually. Yeah, would it actually let him kill himself that way? I guess it would. Otherwise, it wouldn't have given him the option in the first place. All I have to do is give this guy a buff. Although, no, I guess not everybody's an artifact thing. Yep, +3/+3. If I attack with both of these, you should be fine. I don't want to let it drag out too long, though. Artifact creature. So what is not an artifact? These two are not. So it's weird that he didn't even choose to block that or do anything. Or I guess there's no harm in attacking with those because you know you're not going to be able to block with them anyway. Now you could do something crazy like give it +3/+3 at the last second, or like destroy one that's going to be... But no, he could still survive because targeted creature doesn't really matter. You can still do this, and then you can still do the buff, I guess, but... Right, because that's going to be hard for him to block, at least in the future. I don't see how I could possibly lose this. This is an amazing card. I actually would craft this. It's not even mythic or anything. This is also why drafts are so fun, because you see cards that you don't typically have, or you get a chance to use them, or whatever. Gives you ideas for like stuff that you would want. It's just so much my style. I would even put that in my... Oh, look what a stylish way to beat him, too. I would even put that like in my green deck, just like anti-spell, hexproof type of thing. The problem is the mana condition might be hard to reach, but not really. Because we always have like... Just the same way I don't have blue mana. Right, I don't have blue lands in that deck, but I still have blue minions because of the hexproof. So I just get them from mana generating stuff like the Carotid. So that was easy enough, but I guess it should be easy. I don't know how they exactly scale matchups at this stage. Like, we're both... Like, that's not our rank overall in Constructed. That's just our rank in this particular draft or in drafts in general, or I don't know how it works. But this is a pretty bad hand. Just want some low-cost things you can play, although most of this you can't play because they're all buffs and stuff, so... I'll keep it just for the land's sake, but it would be a very bad idea. I do have a decent amount of low-cost stuff in there. Now, people would say, oh, you should have mulliganed more, but it's just not practical because, I don't know, at least now I can stack up lands. That one dude is going to carry me the whole way, though, just because he can't be blocked by artifacts, and most things are going to be artifacts. It's just very strange. You get so much value from a random dude like that. I was even making fun of that very idea, but at least here it makes sense because that is what the whole point of this expansion was. I can't believe I'm doing this rather than one that actually has to do with you know, like the current expansion. Hang on. Let's see. Destroy target non-artifact creature. Do this. When it enters, cards among milled. Okay, as long as it doesn't keep getting out of hand, like where that's happening every turn. So we've already pretty much lost this in the opening because I would have had to mulligan like 5 times probably to get something, or I just don't have anything to play. So either way, I'm fucked. Which is not too bad yet. Like, this is what you would expect, though. There should be suboptimal random plays, hodgepodge stuff that you're just trying to either squeeze the value from the stone, so to speak, or you're trying to, you know, just make the best of what you have. That's part of what can be fun about it, is it gives value and unexpected worth to cards that are normally not considered good because you're not playing them for the effects. You're just playing them for their raw value or whatever. And a lot of the cards that are better are often not that good here because you can't always get the synergies and support and stuff like that. So you can't take stuff like that for granted. You just have to kind of make the best of what you got. But that's not always what it seems like. Like, that is surprising. In all the drafts I've done, I've never won like more than 4 or 5 games. And I think I won 5 in one of them actually, but I've never won 7 at least. Now, why would you do that if it could just be that they're bad players in addition to having bad decks? But 4 or 5, okay, that's fine. Non-artifact creature, I mean, for only 2, that's quite a bargain. And just keep going with this. That'd be good as a rebuke sort of removal, and then and also destroy something with that, so everything should just be reactive here. Sacrifice it. Create an XX token. Activate only as sorcery. I just need something that I could actually play here, and that would be a very fascinating idea. But I just might not get anything. Give me that same 2-mana 2/2 thing that was going to carry me the other game. Fuck me. Is there one of these that's going to be really a problem? I could play it now. Creature with flying. I feel like it'll be more useful later, though, somehow. I'll do this one, and I'll even maybe try to do the other one. Although maybe not. Well, no, I shouldn't even think like that. I'll win 7 games, but that would take the whole time that I have. I would only say that if I'm setting up that I'm going to lose it. Then we missed a chance to play as that one. Which basically is exciting me because, like, wow, you can use all the cards from the history of the game, like Historic. But then there's another format even beyond that where it's Historic no ban list. Right, because we saw that one time as a format that was letting you play like a couple weeks back. Now what you could do is, you're not going to get the value from that, but you could like buff this. You could buff it and then you could still kill it because you can do the rebuke, basically, is what I'll call it. There's a lot of effort to go through, but it is totally worth it. And I will also be able to hit you in the face. Or wait. Oh, no. Or yeah, I'm right. Yeah, so you get some damage through there. So this is the perfect sign of low quality decks, is that they don't have a ton of cycling and card draw and stuff. So the value is what it is. It's a one-off sort of thing. There's no persistent sense of permanent value. And so your hands do sort of dry out, mine included, obviously. At least now we have some things we can play. Each opponent loses 2 life for 5. Ability costs 1 less to activate for each creature card in your graveyard. I mean, he's going to be getting pretty low himself, though. Kind of a pointless play to make. When an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Colorized version. Why do they always switch spots like that? I guess just because they're trying to align them as they're fighting, but that gets really confusing when there's like a million tokens on the board. I love how they just shrink in size. Like, that's such a funny way to do it. But this is the only card game that I know of that is like that, where that you can just have like infinite things on the board. Not really super active. I want to see him do something crazy and cool. I almost forgot he was there. Artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Now, doesn't that count as an artifact? Oh shit, that's totally worth it then. Fuck me. So you can attack with both of these. You can't, or you could block them both, but you'd have to sack it. Look at the value on some of these cards. Of course, it's tailor-made like that, but still, like a lot of these cards are in here because they have to do with artifacts, whether in a positive way or negative way. I mean, it still did cost 4, so it's not like it's that crazy. You could just have like a 2-cost black card that would just destroy a creature anyway. I think I have that chick, right? That's supposed to be the one, or maybe it's somebody else. The Wraith or whatever, I forget what her name is. Reach, when it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent. When it dies, you may gain 1 life. That's like how you have to read the Yu-Gi-Oh card text because it just goes on so long. This is fine. You can turn this into like a 4/4, and then you'd be able to basically trade in pretty favorably here. That's fine. He's pretty low, but now he has a couple options in his hand. We'll win these 2 games, and then we'll get clowned after that. We always go like 2-0 and then 3 losses in a row. As soon as you get there, it gets super competitive. Not that I'm getting overconfident, surely. This is good just to try to give me something else I can play. At least this deck is showing that you get a lot of land. It's not struggling in that way that sometimes these decks do for me. Right, it's not like I don't even put enough land in there, but your hand can kind of burn out like this, so you can just get unlucky, like, or you'll get like the wrong color here because I have this stupid hybrid thing going on that I didn't even want to do. I can't believe it's till the end of the turn though. So you're paying 6 mana for a 5/5 just to get a fucking temporary buff like that. Here comes the infinite loop combo that's going to destroy me, or at least he's getting good value now. Let the game drag out a little bit too long, I guess. The lifelink is going to ruin me too. Like, come on. You can't escape the healing cheese even in this mode. Like, I have just no way of doing it now. Hooray, you could get another one of those. When it enters, you gain 4 life. If a spell or ability control, like, you almost need that for the healing, but I guess I still won't do it. This guy can give something +3, which still isn't going to really matter. Yeah, I probably should have just gone for the healing there, though. Oh, and would I have been able to play it there, too? I would have been able to play it right away, so... Yeah, that's not really useful to me anymore, at least. He is still taking his sweet time. It's not getting to some crazy combo point, or even if it does, it would have had to take so fucking long to get there that it doesn't really feel like that big of a deal. And so I do enjoy that style of play sort of more, where it's like you have to find the value. It's not just already there. Whereas a lot of constructed decks, it feels like if you get whatever you want to happen, your combo or synergies and stuff, you're just going to win with ease. So this is a good play to or wait, no. They can't block both, and so all you'd have to do is attack with both, and then I just lose on the spot. Yeah, everybody's gonna only have that card. I don't know why the appearance rate of that is so high. Or I guess I'm only paying attention to it because it's green, and so I was having it biased towards doing that anyway. This one I was getting cocky too, that like, oh, we are going so good, and it's gonna be, we'll get to 2-0, and then we'll start to lose there. Maybe this will break the jinx though. We already got the loss out of the way, so now we'll keep winning. Yeah, all you'd have to do to get your buy-in back is like something like 4 or 5. Like 4.5 is maybe what you should try to average. That's like the new 7 for Hearthstone, right? If you get 7 out of 12, you get your money back, the 150 that you paid in. So then you could just do it over and over forever that way. Oh, I misunderstood it. It's not 1,000 for each one. It's 1,000 total, which is dumb. Or if I get 500 gems, I could totally do that because I'm not going to do anything with the gems anyway. Yeah, so that'll dictate the length of the episode. But what would it take? Yeah, let's actually look. This is like... 1 win is 100. 2 wins is 200. 3 wins is 300. 4... Wait, what? Oh, maybe it's more so gold that I'm thinking of where it jumps up, but... No, there was some sort of throttle point where like it would go from like 200 to like 1,000 or something crazy like that between 2 and 3. So I got kind of fucked by that. I shouldn't have even done this because I mean, I guess it's always just fun to do a draft regardless, but I thought I would get 1,000 per game that I played, which means it would almost pay it back. Now I'll only be at like 3,000 gold, so it'll take me a long time to get to the 10k thing again. Pretty much the only efficient way to do it is to, you know, to do daily quests, of which I can only do 3 a week anyway. This is okay, except you're not going to have the green land. And so you almost don't want it, but I can't really argue with it. All you need is like 1, because... that's where it's kind of deceptive as far as hybrid stuff is not as bad as you think. Because yes, you'll have green, blue, whatever other colors, but you're not going to need as many of them as you think. That's why they think, oh, Gigantosaurus is so, you know, fair because it requires 5 green land, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be a case where, you know, I'm like that anywhere where I just commit to 1 color anyway, so... that would almost be worth it, but I won't do it. This is good. There's nothing really crazy that you need to do here. I don't mind if we keep trading damage this way. My best chance of winning with any of these decks in a draft is always just to rush them down. But that's the ironic thing about my mid-range sort of value deck, is that, you know, that I always do with green and constructed. It's all good high value stuff, and it seems like, oh, it would be a good late game thing or mid-range thing, but it ends up turning into an aggro deck, because if you don't flood the board and dominate the board and just kill them quickly, then you're not going to have a chance to do anything, period. Right? If the game drags on too long, you're not going to win there either. Even though I have seemingly good value stuff in that deck, it's not going to be good enough to match with you could sacrifice something to kill something, doesn't really matter. You could do this and then block, you know, whatever, bait him into blocking and just kill it. This would be +2/+1 and lifelink. Draw a card is also pretty important. Or wait. Oh, fuck. I fucked up. I was trying to expect that it wouldn't die there. Just from the 1 effect, so then I wasted the other one too. Very expensive play for no reason. Put this down, put this down. Drawing 2 cards is not really going to happen no matter what. Beast horror, my favorite kind of thing in any lore. I always call it like Cthulhu type stuff, but Lovecraftian stuff would be the better way of saying it. If you block that, I'm fine with it. As long as you keep putting pressure on the board, but he's not really going to... I don't know. Fucking... Why you gotta have so much healing, man? That's one of my weaknesses no matter what format I'm playing. Just like... It drags the game out way too much. In a game where you only have 20 base starting life, too, you would think that wouldn't be such an issue, but... You just attack with both. If you want to ignore it, go ahead. But you're just going to have infinite healing and crazy combos later, so you just don't even care, do you? Even this is like a late stream for me, but this much I don't mind. Like 11, 12-ish. But I hated like yesterday. It's like fucking 1 o'clock, or I guess it's just because it was a longer sort of episode too. Mill could be okay. Doesn't really matter. You're just kind of cycling through shit anyway. Blue is always a sign, though. It's going to be annoying as shit because... I don't know. Return target artifact or creature card from graveyard to your hand. Create a 1/1 token. Like, this would actually be pretty good. And I never thought I'd say that because it's so... I think we got offered so many of them, it's kind of a farce, but... How much fucking excess land I have, but now I'm not going to have anything to actually play with it. It still wouldn't be able to kill it, so you can just block it. I'm always winning on the board in some vague minor sense, but then it ends up getting out of control where I can't do anything. I'm kind of stunned you would do that because, or maybe he expects I would have another buff card, but even if I did, I wouldn't be able to play it because I don't have any mana. You could actually hit my face a little bit there, but something with flying, which nothing actually has flying, so it would just be for the artifact, I guess, that I'm doing it. Couldn't I do that as... Oh, no, it's not an instant, though. You could, like, double block this and actually kill it by only sacking one thing. Right? So that could be kind of a bad play. Or he's just refusing to give up the one thing, though. Sacrifice an artifact or creature. So sacrifice this. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Or wait. Oh no, I'm destroying my own thing. You want to destroy this chick, which he's so attached to. Maybe not the best use of it, and maybe I should have just done that earlier, so then... Oh, I love how that actually works, though. You still lose the health, so of course, exactly as planned. Summon something with flying. First strike doesn't bother me at all. Come on, I should win this, although I was saying that last game, too. This, you could actually activate the ability, so you're going to be able to do that very scary +2 effect every turn. So can you really handle that? That's my end game fucking payoff. That's my win condition. You can buff a guy for 7 mana for +2/+2. That's when you know the game is over. When the Argothian sprite is getting buffed on fleet. Yeah, that's when you know. You got to resign. If somebody's clowning you with that effect of all things, they're just out of your league, dude. The 2-1, the last game was winnable too, but I kind of came up a little bit short. This is good and all, but it's never going to be enough gold because you're going to get gems from this shit anyway, so that won't be enough to do a 10. Like, what would give me enough to do a 10k draft? You'd have to have like 1,500. Like, even if I got 7 wins, would that be enough to do one? No, it still wouldn't be. But I guess it's actually fair for this format because that would be like, you know, you only paid in like 5K to do it, so it shouldn't really give you that much more. So I think 500 is equal to like 5,000, or I forget exactly what the metric is, but obviously 950 would be a great payoff for this. It's usually 4 or 5 that gives you a rebate for what you paid into the mode, right? So if you win, whatever, if you win like about half or over half, which I haven't done hardly like a single time maybe, which is surprising, despite my weird way of drafting or my lack of knowledge of the game in general or my lack of willingness to this dude has been sort of like the MVP though. He has like a weird quality about him that's just like return target creature is actually pretty good, all things considered. Reach that touch when it dies, put one other target card from graveyard on the bottom of owner's library. That might be the worst of the bunch that we have there. Because yeah, if I lose this guy, I can bring him back and then heal again or whatever. I feel like the effect is not something you're going to get a ton of value out of. Even in draft, now I'm spoiling it by playing green way too much. Find somebody who loves you as much as I love green and Magic the Gathering. Okay, that's fine with me. A lot of people are using this annoying blue type shit. That'll be good. I still need more land, but now at this point the colors always don't matter as much. Yeah, I've been sort of rolling in mana. Oh look, you already have that though. That means you're a tryhard, right? Because that's from the reward track, so that means you must play like every day. Once again, the border outline though kind of ruins that a little bit. And you almost can't notice it from a distance. It sort of blends in, but 2/5, you guess -1/-1. I'm fine with face taking a little bit. The great man you know as stars has arrived. He probably can't even hear me saying that. With this, he'd be able to obviously block pretty effortlessly. Oh, you can for once? Thankfully, it's not as late today either. Mishra's Domination. I forgot no sound was on. Okay, so I don't really want to do that, but yeah, we could easily just sacrifice something and just do it. Although sacrificing that almost seems like a tough pill to swallow. You're not in school. And then even if we do sacrifice something, we can just bring it right back. I guess +3/+3. Let's actually just do that. Or I can't do it. Fuck. Everything is just so slow paced, dude. It's just part of the fun of these formats, but that's what you need in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like a draft mode, or it's like, okay, I'm not gonna let you do that, dude. Counter the counter. It ended? So for how long? Was it like winter break or something? Even though it's not even really, or wait, for you it'd be pretty good. Not as tired today as usual. You should have seen me yesterday. I was fucking half asleep the whole time. That was like the closest to a drunk stream that I'll do. Hearthstone half asleep stream. Okay, this is pretty good. I still can't do anything though in the context of, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I can't do anything in the context of, oh no, now I can do that though. Is he really gonna win now? Like, these are the kind of losses that piss me off. It happens so often in this game that like, oh, ha ha ha, it was all part of his master plan to get down to 1 HP and then kill me. Even in a draft. Oh, you were here? Maybe not at the end. I can't remember. These like multi-category days are becoming difficult for me now because I don't like to do like a really short episode of both categories, but it's hard. Have a good dinner? Yeah, it was all right. Oh yeah, you had to go. I had like a little Domino's pasta thing. What did I have yesterday? I can't remember. I had like Chinese yesterday. Yeah, I remember. Okay, you do concede. Good. So we're 3-1. At least we get over the hump of that. So, not to jinx it, but this has already gone better than most of these drafts have done. You only get takeout. Yeah, I don't really cook or anything. Let's try to go for our first 7-win draft ever. Not that I'm not always trying to do that, but I wouldn't really vouch for this draft being that impressive, though. How far are we in here? We're 15. Getting to rank 35 would basically be impossible at the rate that I play. I just can't do it. Yeah, no shit to just pick. Like, what am I going to do? Get all of them? Would that even be possible? Like, how long would that take to get? No, there wouldn't be enough of them to even do that. The best case, you'd be trying to get to the end, like here. Rank 25, I'm sure I can get. But there's no way I think I can get to rank 35 in that much time. That's lazy. Well, it's sort of lazy, but it's also sort of a necessity. What can I do? I don't know how to cook. I wouldn't really want to do it. So, fuck it. Yeah, that's the dumb thing about this is even if I get 950 gems, I'm not going to be able to do a 10k draft still, basically. And there's nothing else that's going to give me gems until I do one. So it's always a net positive just to have them in reserve. Obviously extra currency, but it's not really that good because of splitting it. I have an oven, but I don't use it. Or even if I do, I'll just like make some pre-made thing, like some biscuits or something. Frozen pizza or something. I guess that counts as cooking in some vague sense, but I'm not gonna make anything complex, you know. It's just so much effort, you know, like what's the point? And it's gonna end up tasting just as bad or worse than whatever you get outside. Board, pay 2 life, prowess, enter the battlefield tapped, return it from your graveyard to your hand for 3. Okay, he's playing very aggressively at the beginning, which maybe isn't so big of a deal. You can probably just deal with it. Buy some fish. I don't like fish, first of all. Chicken tenders, chips, and peas. Dinner right there. Yeah, I don't mind chicken. I don't like fish. I don't like peas. I don't like the way this is going, but I also don't want to sack that seemingly for nothing. Now we can play that, get some healing out of it. I would be able to block and do that, or not this turn, but fish is great. It tells you how to cook it right on the packaging. Yeah, my extent of cooking would be the microwave. But yeah, I don't really like fish. It could be because of the smell or something. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, destroy target non-artifact creature. There's not one in particular that stands out to me here, so I guess, you know, I can still do this because let's see what he does, and then I'll counter at least one of them. Try that at least once this week. It'll change your life. What? Fish? In general? Like, I've had sushi, I guess. What kind of fish? You'll never want to take out again. I mean, I'm not saying that if I had somebody who would, you know, to cook for me, I wouldn't mind it, but I'm not going to go through the trouble myself. I don't get it. Oh, your dinner recommendation? It's not like out of preference. It's more out of just either laziness or whatever, convenience. +1/+1 counter, and then you're going to trade in pretty well there. I always kind of underestimate the fact that it has trample too, so that was a pretty productive play. You do have the ability to destroy something else too. Look how efficient this card is compared to like so many of the other removal cards that we have. Sure, it might not be the greatest in this format because you are dealing with so many artifact things, but for the most part, I don't really care even. Get obese at this rate, you'll have trouble getting women. I mean, if that's their primary criteria. But, you know, I'm still pretty much okay. It doesn't mean I eat that much, although I wouldn't say what I eat is that healthy. Yeah, I'll eat like small portions. I'll get something that'll last me like 2 meals, or could last me like the whole day or something. It's kind of weird that he's letting me get away with doing this. If I could destroy at least one of his things, they're not really doing too much to me, but he's still gonna have some crazy comeback in him. How much do I weigh? Not too little and not too much, let's just say. Maybe right in the borderline. Yeah, it's a combination of various things that could be a problem there. Like, you only eat like fast food, and you only you don't really work out much, so it's like a recipe for disaster. But I somehow still borderline of both. Like, you're not really fat, you're not really skinny, you're just kind of in the middle. By American standards, I'm definitely not obese either. Wow, we're doing actually pretty good. And before we jinx it, but I mean, the way that we're winning these is kind of encouraging too. Like, they're not really doing anything crazy. You're underweight. Okay, this is fine. Good amount of land, but nothing I can actually play. This is also nothing I can... Oh, come on. We're gonna lose to the mulligan now. Fuck off. Give me like a... Oh, okay. Give me like a 1 or 2 cost thing I can play. Okay, this one's not even really my fault, but okay, dude. He's doing it for the sprite. Keep 1. Are you serious, dude? What if I did it again? I would just have to give up my whole hand. Hard mode, full hand mulligan, whatever. I'm still satisfied. This is still better than my normal draft, but I still get another chance after we lose this one, or maybe I'll still win it. I don't know what the ranks mean in this context of the draft. Like, does that mean how many games he's won in the draft? I still don't even know what exactly that would represent. You're like 97th percentile for your age. Interesting. See, this is such a good card back, but it looks like shit because of the outside of it. Why do they ruin their own stuff? Could be like a poster for a game, right? Just put the name of it there. Some old school fantasy RPG. Retro. The problem here is we don't have land, but also the problem was how many times I mulligan. That's why sometimes you should just deal with it. But I had nothing actually playable, or they were all like low cost buffs and stuff. Wait, like less than 50 kilograms. Yeah, I think it's always better to be... I mean, they're both not really good, but it's better to be underweight than overweight. Or for some people, it's like really hard for them to ever lose weight. But it's just more like a psychological thing. Very light. This is a very stupid situation to be in, but he's still not punishing me that hard. Like, I don't have a single land out there, so I basically just lose the game. Now I'm going to get the wrong color land, too. It is almost like a karmic justice thing. Like, the game can't allow you to win too many games, so it just fucks you on RNG. But how would it know exactly how to do that? Over 80 kilograms, all these different measurements that I don't use. What exactly is the kilogram to pound ratio? 1 equals 2.2. So 80 would be like 170. I'll just say like I'm right around there, which is not really overweight for me at all, given my height, given my age. Okay, that one was kind of fucking stupid. But we still get one more chance, so we can still win 3 more games in a row like we were just doing. But how many gems is this going to be? It's going to be at least 450, which is pretty nice. I could almost just do the other one. In fact, I almost needed like just 600 to do it. I'm not really in a rush to do the 10K draft, but I had like almost 20k gold, so it just feels kind of bad. Like, at least you need like one thing you can play, and then you don't feel bad. But like, I just don't want to not be able to play anything, but I also don't want to give up my hand. Are you under 200? Maybe. Doesn't matter. The point is I'm like not really one extreme or the other, so I'm kind of in the middle, which is okay. And certainly if I worked out, that would be a lot better. Oh, look at this guy actually playing with honor and green. Yes or no? Maybe I'm exactly that. I would neither be above it or below it. So we do the same thing. It's going to be a total mirror matchup, even though he's not using black. Black and green versus white and green. You doubt what? And I guess that's worth it, unless you're gonna... What the fuck? That's okay. We have a lot of these weird buff cards that can just kind of change the outcome of a fight, but this won't actually do that here. Okay, that's only till the end of the turn, right? Or even that's worth it. Like, what am I expecting? You're exactly 200. I'm just saying hypothetically I could be. That's like a stupid heal. Prevent all damage, +2/+1. Nothing really crazy there. The amount of land I have is decent, but I need a little bit more to be able to play something. That's already up to a +3/+3 buff, which is pretty nice. This feels like Magic always needed... That's similar to the skeleton, but that I wanted last year. They kind of recycling the model a little bit with the lantern and stuff. They need like some sort of other representation for Magic, like where it's... Oh, fuck. I should have used that on his turn, right? There needs to be an anime, or there needs to be a actual proper game where you walk around and, you know, open world RPG or something. Okay, whatever, dude. We at least got 4 wins. This one's kind of fucked too. Go soon, but you'll be back. I guess there'll be nothing to come back for though, because we're about to lose right now. But a +1/+1 counter. That would be like sort of a rebuke type of thing. Lifelink could be pretty important. Okay, we can still survive, and I could have mitigated quite a bit of damage before if I had used that card on his turn instead of mine. I was doing it just to get rid of something, really. Whatever. I just can't even do anything. That's how bad some of these games have gone. There's just literally nothing there for me. Fine, at least I don't concede like other people. Just do it with a sense of honor. And yeah, it's possible I would have still lost one of those last 2 games that I won, but they're so boneheaded that they concede and give me too much credit or assume that my position is really better than what it is. That's fine. No, you know what my expression would be is right down the middle, where it's either me shushing like my Diablo icon or just like a blank face, like a straight line across. Monotone that I am. Even deliberately so. So I can't do the other one for the simple fact that you would need a little bit more, right? I was even willing to do it. I'm 30 short. What the fuck? But that one looked pretty fun to do. We do have the Mythic Wild card. Let me look at some of those cards that I actually saw in there that I found interesting. Either the Portal to Nothingness or the... What was the other thing? It was like a black 5... Oh, shit. I should do a couple games of just overall to try to complete that. Yeah, we're certainly not going to get to the rank 35 that I so coveted. What is it? I'll waste my Mythic Wild card on that. The problem is that it's tapped the first turn, right? It's not even Mythic. That's so weird. You got to have a combo like where you untap it or just hope that they can't deal with it, which arguably a lot of the time they're not going to be able to. Especially if you bait them to destroy other artifacts and stuff along the way. It was like a 5-cost black card that said 5 life or discard a card, something like that. Black. Oh, we even have it too. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, loses 5 life unless they discard a card. Only problem is we don't have... No, actually there is no problem. I should just put that in my hexproof deck, period. And the reason why is because blue or black. Now you would think I would do blue even in the context of that hexproof deck. Wait. Oh, why is it an alchemy? That's actually a pretty fun addition, because even though it is black and I don't have black, it still works in the same way that some of these blue cards do. So the whole anti-spell thing is coming together. Just make them feel completely powerless and helpless. Where is that? Info Quandary, I guess I only have one. I'm not going to use that. It seems like lately I've been needing the gold cards more than anything, like with the Goblin deck. What could I get rid of? Or maybe I don't even want to get rid of anything. We can just do a 61 card deck for some random reason. All this stuff is pretty important to have. And of course, everything with hexproof I'm going to have just for the sake of it. I could maybe just... Yeah, this one's shit though. Value. 6 mana, 4/5. Carnage Tyrant hasn't been too exciting for me, but... I can get rid of one land. Like, that would never bite us in the butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. How do you know, like, where... Whatever, I'll get rid of one. Clearly, we're never having issues with mana. Even though this is a deck that has so many mana-generating minions. The reality is that... you still sometimes get cucked on it, especially at the beginning. I hate having to mulligan like 4 or 5 times just to get something either that I can play or either enough land to be able to play it, which is not a problem that any good quality deck is ever going to have. Like, even here, I'm kind of in a weird spot. Like, what if I don't get another land now coming up? Then I'll just be screwed. At least here I have 2, so you have to hope that you'll get another one. Quite the picture too. I mean, either scenario is bad. Whether they lose 5 life is a lot, or whether they discard a card is going to cuck their hand. So it's a very good thing. We're creating a hybrid deck without any land besides green. And how are we managing to do that? Because of the simple fact that I'm able to use like the Carotid and whatever. However I play the blue stuff here, I can play this as well. That might be the only way, in fact, I can do it, but that's fine. I only have one of them, and I have quite a few cards that require blue here, but it normally isn't that big of an issue. So even though I love the hexproof mechanic, for example, I'm never going to dignify actually having blue land in there, because I just hate blue so much. And it's even oxymoronic. Like, what the hell is a water land, a blue land? Borrow Naughty has lifelink as you control another fairy. Okay, this will be obviously good. And I still don't get the benefit from the Carotid, and he's just going to flood the board way too much. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life, create a 1/1 with flying. As long as I at least do the daily quest, I've pretty much given up hope that I'd ever be able to. Does that mean he can still use his effect, though? I guess so. Now, we will get the value from the Carotid, but I don't know that this is really the matchup where I'm going to get the most value from the from that, because he's not really interested in playing spells as much. He's just playing a bunch of minions and shit, tokens. Always reminds me of the Golden Castle of Stromberg, I guess. Okay, fine. Beginning of upkeep, that player loses 2 life, but I can still block with it. In fact, I can even still attack with it and use the effects and everything. Going all in, dude. probably the right way to do it, as much as I always mock these people for like, or oh, they're all flying anyway. Okay, wow, what a deck. Almost seems like some sort of meta structured contrived thing. But of course, even that's not going to save me because it's already too late. And since they're all flying anyway, it doesn't do me any good to do this. I'm just going to die anyway. Because he'll hit me for like 4 just from the thing alone. Just from the effects here. Stab wound. What a cutesy picture to show for it, though. I mean, it's not going to matter. He's going to hit me for 5, and then I'm just dead. At least that's a rare exception, where normally when I add a new card to my deck, I don't get to play it for like a month of playing for whatever reason. It just doesn't line up, like Sargeras or something. But here, in the very first game that I play with it, I still get to do it. Like, that was at least cool. Very interesting aggro type of deck, although that card is very stupid. It doesn't prevent you from actually doing anything with your minions. Like, they're still able to block, they're still able to attack. They only get -2/-2. But yet somehow it was still pretty impactful there. Yeah, no need to take notes because taking notes would be cheating. Just like in chess, just like everything is star G killer. That's always some sort of old school joke, like star killer. Now that's really impressive. I've heard of Sith eating planets like Darth Bane or whatever, but destroying a star, that's just way too much. Or that was like supposed to be Anakin's original name, not Anakin Skywalker, but Anakin Starkiller. And that's one of the dumbest writing points of the Star Wars franchise, is like, oh haha, Anakin is supposed to be, I mean, Luke is like, Darth Vader is shocked when he hears it. It's impossible that Luke Skywalker could be the offspring of Anakin Skywalker, even though they have the same last name. Like, sure, there might be other considerations, like, you know, oh, it doesn't mean you're related, but don't you think they would have changed his name publicly? Like, they call him that, you know, like he's supposed to be in hiding and getting away from everything, his past or whatever, his father, but why would they still keep that name around? There's no good explanation for it other than like Lucas just hadn't thought of it yet at that time. So we will be able to do the blue, or actually I won't be able to do it because you'll have to do you'll have to basically get a 4 attack trigger first. Right now we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I could do this and then I could do it. That Nicolas Cage movie flopped, where he's actually a vampire, like he always said in his stupid character from Vampire's Kiss. That is like one of those movies that's so bad it's good, but it's almost not so bad because it's very deliberate with what it's doing. So it's always hard to judge stuff like that. If I make a movie where everybody's a total clown and wait, why is everybody using this? Everybody's a total clown and acting like an idiot, but that's the intention of the movie, then is it really bad? Like, I'm doing what I intended to do, so who are you to say, you know, just my intent is wrong? We flooded the board satisfactorily. Should be hard for him to survive this, especially with the Hexproof stuff. He would need like some kind of AoE or infinite loop, flood the board with tokens, kind of crazy combo that we see so many times. Five, attacks if able. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite effects in the whole game too, because it counters the core mechanic that always catches me by surprise so much, and that always like is very somewhat unintuitive. Like, oh, you know, they can just hide their minions and there's nothing you can do unless they choose to block with them, so their effects become impossible to avoid, which rewards like healing boss type crazy shit that we see over and over. So the whole point is that you can no longer hide like that. And one of the only effects, if not the only effect like that in the whole game. So I do like that quite a bit. I'm not even doing a format like between different. Oh, if I lose with this, I'll go to another. I'm just doing this. I kind of just wanted to do the daily quest, but it'll take me forever to do it because you would have to play so many games to be able to play that many blue stuff because I have very few in here. I should have gotten at least to like rank 25 by now if I was hoping to. You would need one more land. So let's actually show this as an example. I have plenty of mana generating minions, but what if I don't get one more forest? Then I just lose the game because we'll be just sitting here forever. All I need is one, which I don't get. Once again, I just need one. But or no, that works too, I guess. It almost seems like you shouldn't need too much land with this deck because of how many minions you have that actually give it to you, but you still need enough just to be able to play them. We're seeing a lot of combos and synergies early on here. Other soldiers you get +1/+1. Exile Valorant veteran from your graveyard. You get a +1/+1 for each soldier you control. Damn, look at this high-end aggro shit that we're seeing. Like the little pixie fairy one. You arguably should want to do this, but given how much pressure he's putting on, I don't mind doing that either. At least we could block his shit. You'd have to pay 2 at least to disable the effect, so I hate that you can do that, though. I want a card like this that just doesn't have that thing where you can pay 2. So you were forced not to play anything but creature spells, which I wouldn't mind doing anyway, because that's pretty much all I do regardless. But, you know, that's a fitting downside. 4 mana 6/6 with hexproof, but you can't cast anything but creature spells. That's the trade-off you make. Paying 2 for that effect is good for you too, because like, oh, I can play other stuff. Like, why would he even do that? Look at him using that too. That might be the only way to have ever gotten that, or maybe it was available in some other way too. But shouldn't I just be able to kill something? Like, why would you just walk right into that? He'll still hit me for 6. I'm actually not in that bad of a spot if I can just survive. But of course, my decks never have any healing. But why? Why shouldn't you still be able to do that? Equipped creature has +1/+1. Ah, fuck. We haven't really seen that card since the tutorial or in any other scripted way. Like, nobody ever uses that card normally. That would be fine. Our mana is not looking as good as you might think. We only have 2, but we're relying on the board for it. Which, of course, you could punish pretty hard just in the context. Okay, his hand's totally burnt out. These 3/3s are going to keep beating on me, though. Couldn't he do this as a... No, you can't do it as an instant effect, I don't think. Because you could make it like... I don't know. It's already buffed, though, too. Fuck's sake. Wait, you could have just attacked no matter what, and you just chose not to. Probably do that. Just get more mana. Do that, and we could eventually whittle you down with the Invisible Stalker, but it's just not going to matter. Like, I can't block everything anyway, so... Yeah, that's cute, but why not just hit me in the face then? Create a 1/1, which becomes a 4/4. Yeah, good game, whatever. I can't do anything. You have to play this yet again. How many of these stupid blue things have I played? Is it going to be enough? That'll be 1. We're playing like an average of 1 per game. But this is like always the best way that it shows, like to ladder. Like in PvZ Heroes, I do that format where like I can only play each deck for each hero, so there's only 6. Or imagine if he ends up killing himself with that. He heard I liked hexproof, so he made himself hexproof. Do we get it, dude? Hurry up. Not even doing that out of salt. It's like just for the sake of time. Considering how little I play this game, then I'll spend half of the episode just getting... I'll play like an hour episode and spend half of it just getting BM'd by people. Or BMing people myself. I have to play 3 more of them. That's all I'm even trying to do. Or like, what level am I on that track now? Am I like close to 20? I won't even be 20. 16. Yeah, there's no fucking chance, dude. Forget about it. Like I said, last season, it took me all the way till the end to get to even rank 25. And so it was a triumph that I was even able to get Frodo and Sam there. Which I didn't even really want, but... Okay, let's just try to make a priority to play the yellow ones. Yoda himself. Gathering the magic, as he calls it. I don't know where that speech pattern exactly comes from. Like, why they never really explain anything about it. It's like, oh, that's supposed to mean he's so smart, but he can't even talk properly, so... Or maybe we're all talking improperly and he's just one step ahead, but... It's like one of those endearing character traits, but it doesn't have any special meaning to it. It's just there. When it enters, you may search. Okay. I don't care about winning. Like, I honestly just want to play a white, or I mean a blue thing. The other color that I hate. I think I like blue even less, but it's more just like you see white so much because of those stupid heal buff decks, which this somehow is gonna turn into one too. You have Rebuke. We do have the ability to do that, and that also counts towards the blue thing. That doesn't matter. When a Charm Stray enters the battlefield, that also doesn't matter. But you know what these games could have as a pre-move feature too? Like, what if you put it like a setting? Like, I'm going to put on this guy, attack every turn until I tell you otherwise. So then I wouldn't have to click it. I would just do it to cancel it. Like, you can interact with stuff way ahead of time, which normally you wouldn't think is a big deal, but, you know, play this 3 turns from now, and then you could always cancel it, but just... I don't know. You could have it sort of slated ahead of time for high-level play. This is one of the only games where people actually actively do that, just because... I don't know, just the nature of it, but there's almost no point to doing it. Or like they'll write it on like a little fucking piece of paper and show off how smart they think they are. Whenever, okay, it doesn't matter. Even if we play this, it still won't be enough. It seems like Invisible Stalker is the go-to one, just to try to fill in the blue space. Okay, keep doing that. If I play the Angler and like one more thing, some of the hexproof minions are actually pretty poorly statted, like the 6 mana 4/5 or the 5 mana or whatever, 5 mana 2/5. Oh, here we go. Speaking of heal buff shit, but I could just kill that with Rebuke, which I should do. That one doesn't even have a buff built in. I'll still just do it though. Attack with both of these, there's not going to be much you can really do still. It must just be really cheap, basically, to make. Not that this is exactly the same sort of thing, but... Your creature dies, scry 1, put an oil counter. Indestructible, fine, I don't care. It's only a 4/4, dude. Or, you know, I should do this too. Sacrifice it, get a 4/4, hurry up. Do this, do this. Or even his card back maybe matches with Yoda somehow. Like he's living in the jungle in exile in the swamp. Okay, so we have to play still a couple more. This is so annoying. You would think, oh, just use a blue focus deck, but I mean, this is as much blue as we can manage to fit in here, and it's only because I like that mechanic so much. Maybe my favorite mechanic in card game history is just anything that prevents you from targeting stuff with the removal and whatnot. I wasted the rebuke. So again, I don't even care too much if I lose, but well, I certainly am going to lose. So you wouldn't have lethal even, so it's like you hit me for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can only block 2, but then again, most of what I have is just, you know, you block the 10, 10, you block the 4, 4, but it's gonna have trample anyway. Problem is, he'll keep summoning these stupid little things that are gonna keep having lifeline too. Okay, dude, you just can drag it out. This is what it takes for me to do a fucking simple single daily quest. Because you're attacking with everything. Oh no, he got a perfect lethal kill too. How my pet is like stepping on it. Shouldn't the cards shrink like they normally do? Maybe it didn't get to that point. Like, that seems like it was unusually far to the left. 18. Like, look at how long this is gonna take, dude. They're not even weekly quests for me, or I struggled to do a daily quest within a week. You're missing out on 4 days no matter what of the cycle, obviously, because even if I do all 3 of the daily quests I get, that's all you're gonna have. That is such an insidious, annoying mechanic for people who, like, imagine you're like a normal person who doesn't play a game every single day, but it's a way to try to get you addicted or almost force you to do it, and it punishes you so hard if you don't do it. I should mulligan almost just for blue stuff, but well, here I can't even do anything. I'm not going to get any, I mean, I'll do that just for the invisible stalker. Even as dumb as that seems, of course, it doesn't mean I'm going to have the blue mana. What else even gives me the blue mana here besides the Keratin? That might be the only thing. And so for these, it's okay because you only need 1, but for the other thing you need, oh, what a surprise, a healing buff deck, white. What a crazy, crazy original thing. I just sort of pick a mechanic and then I nest with it, like, just like, oh, I love Hexproof, so let's just keep doing it over and over and over. And even if there's no other depth or meaning to it, like we're not getting synergies and stuff from it. You guys need a few more things to give me like 1 mana of any color rather than just 1 mana period. That's fine. Let me play the Invisible Stalker, then they'll save me again next game too. An average of 1 blue minion played per turn.
I have got new moves to teach you.
That's fine, but you still won't be able to do the other thing. Yeah, I got kind of fucked by that little bonus objective too. I thought it was gonna say give you 1,000 per game you play in the draft. You just had to play 3. But at least I did good in the draft overall. That wasn't a bad performance. And maybe even some of those games were winnable, but I just missed the chance. That'll bump my average up. I should actually have some sort of spreadsheet or chart to keep track of that. Like, I obviously have the videos and I could look through, but my overall draft record is pretty fucking abysmal. Obviously, that's good for 1 mana of any color, so I just need to play, I think, like 1 more or 2 more. You can almost just resign right now, but let's see if we get another blue card to play. 9/9, it's okay. Your training is nothing. Your cards are everything. The will to buy them. The luck of the draw. Fuck off. I'm still not dead. We would only be able to play something that requires 1 blue, which I think pretty much everything is like that. Except, I mean, obviously we have the guy we just got, or the whatever that card is.
How we greet our enemies.
It has even anti-BM protection, like, you know, oh, it'll attack with the highest attack minion first, so you don't have to sit through all the rest of them. But it will let you see that, like how low of a minus value they got you to. Why would they even keep track of that? It is sort of like a fun little gimmick, like, oh, see how high in the minus you can get somebody. Devil's Valet has potential for stuff like that. That's like one of the ways to get it in Hearthstone, like the highest damage value possible, like on the Gazrilla guy or whatever. Whenever he takes damage, his attacks doubles. This would hopefully be the last game, but I'd have to get the Invisible Stalker, or the game would have to last for a super long time just to be able to play something else. At least you do have the 2 mana. Those two obviously go very well together. We've gotten this card a lot, despite the fact that we only have 1 of them in there. See how much good deck variety we see still, besides whatever, even though some of them are good and seem to be meta. We could try to play that, but again, that would be one of those that requires the Carotid and also in full fleek action, like, you know, with the trigger for it too. These games should like give you stuff like they keep track of things a little bit better, like show me like what my most used cards in the history of this game are, and I bet the Carotid is up there very much near the top. Just like it's been in my deck the whole time I played. Never taken off of it, nothing. Screen's been active without you? Well, maybe not so much chat, but even here you could just fucking do that. All I would need is the Carotid and some way to buff it past 5. Or I mean a 4 attack trigger. But yeah, this is basically the same thing as a card bag, just split up into 1. I like the ones that don't even say swamp or anything on them. It's just basically like, you know, it's just basically like a fog cloud or some sort of interstellar formation. Have you ever had that prime drink? I don't think so. What is it? Conduit of Worlds. When the world tree isn't enough. Now you need the universe tree, or this will be like the fucking one that Turles plants in Dragon Ball Z. Eat the tree of whatever. The fruit of might from the tree of might. Logan Paul and KSI. No, I haven't. I've seen that Mr. Beast candy bar everywhere, though. It's in like 7-Eleven. It's in like a lot of random stores that you wouldn't expect it to have that kind of brand reach. Beast like a beast, it says. Like, come on, this is our win condition for the day. Let's just fucking do that. I don't even care to play the rest of this game. Just literally farming out a daily quest just for the sake of it. But even then, I won't dignify doing it as an actual full-on blue deck. Just don't kill the Carotid. Just don't kill me this turn. Although I would never resign out just for the sake of it. But let's see if we can't actually win. Clearly, by playing such a badass card like this, you would have no... Like, look how shitty value that really is. 5 mana, 3/2 with flying and hexproof. Like, it's an annoying combination, sure. And there really aren't any other cards like that, I don't think. There might not be another single other one that's a flying hexproof. But like Invisible Stalker basically serves the same. Yeah, well, how about you filibuster this turn for the rest of the night so I can never finish this fucking quest? Oh my god, dude. I'm not as tired today, but yesterday was kind of miserable. I couldn't even fucking do anything. I never use that as an excuse for my performance either, like if I'm failing a permadeath run or something because of it, but I would barely have enough time to even attempt one at that. I hear you would lose the extra mana generation, which is pretty bad, but I wouldn't mind playing this just to punish him for playing tricks, which I'm sure he's going to have a lot of tricks up his sleeve here. Get a food token. On the bottle it says not suitable for children under 15 years of age, pregnant, pregnant, or lactating women should only be used under medical or diabetic supervision. I don't know what it is, dude. Is it like an energy drink, or it almost sounds like it's alcohol if it's that, but if it's saying 15 years. But yeah, there was some funny article, like a bus driver got in trouble and fired because she drank White Claw and didn't know that it had alcohol in it, which is maybe believably true because they don't really show it very well, or some people don't think of it like that. It basically doesn't have alcohol because it has such a shitty low amount. That's the absolutist tendency when it comes to liquor. A true absolutist wouldn't drink liquor at all. But even if you're going to, why would you bother dicking around with this low quality stuff, or like low percentage stuff? Either go all the way or don't do it at all. Go straight to fucking Everclear, which obviously don't do that. But I just mean like do something strong or don't bother. Or like imagine people who drink alcohol for the taste. That's the dumbest thing of all. You're drinking it to get drunk, aren't you? But, or if not, then just drink something that tastes good, period, that doesn't have alcohol in it. Brother likes it, it's crap. Have you taken a second thought for a pet? Yeah, that's what my original thought was. It just lasted a second anyway. I'm not going to just get one on a whim, dude. I'd have to plan it out. I'd have to... You know, this girl wanted as a pet was a cow, like a little calf or something. One of the most random things ever. You do this, you can't really do that. Good one. Pussies get you pussy. Wink wink. Witch's oven, sacrifice creature. Yeah, how long is this clown gonna drag it out? I already won philosophically because what is it? Can't attack you or planeswalkers you control. What do you mean? Creatures with flying can't attack you or planeswalkers you control. But you as in me, or you? Like, obviously it means for his sake, but I do love this card actually, but it's just a little bit too slow paced. 8 mana. The beginning of your end step, create a 5/5. That is awesome as like a long-term control sort of thing. How was Columbus Day? Fine, pretty much normal for me. I still work and everything. Doesn't really affect me. So I can't really do anything. I mean, I am going to lose and I almost just want to resign, but this in principle, I guess I won't. But this guy's going to take way too long, dude. Come on. I basically slept a lot during the day too to try to catch up on my sleep. Does the IRS turn up to your house if you miss taxes? I mean, theoretically they might if it's a really long time or it's a really high amount, but I've never had that issue myself. Okay, good. It looks like we're going to lose anyway. That's quite the sound they make when they're still a better boss than the one in Majora's Mask, the 4th one. It's kind of shitty. Just don't stream after 12, so yeah, but then I won't be able to do it at all because there's so little. Okay, whatever. We get the point. He wins. We did the daily quest, hooray. But I'm never going to get enough to do a 10k draft, or I'll spend it on some dumb cosmetic. And then even beyond that, I won't get to rank 35 in the mastery tree, which is pretty predictable, actually. It's very hard to do that. I thought it was letting me choose like one or the other. Why does that even stay there, though? It's like not on the timer yet. Yeah, rank 17, so I only got like 3 levels. It's just impossible. Like, it would take way too long. You'd have to like actually play every day or something. You do have some good wild cards in reserve, like the mythic and stuff, which normally I can't hang on to those for any time at all because I'm just so eager to fucking make some suboptimal themed gimmick thing that I always am so inclined to do. 3 hours and 40 minutes. How does it determine like what sign is doing that? You know what Milo is. You already told me, but right, it's like the thing you put in your milk, or yeah, like Nesquik or whatever. I don't even drink milk though, so, and it's great. I don't know. Is that even something you can find here? Let me actually see. Milo drink beverage. The chocolate flavored malted powder produced by Nestle. It originally developed in Australia. It might not even be in circulation here. You would just get something else like Nestle. I mean, which it is made by them anyway. Typically mixed with milk, hot water, produced a beverage. It was originally developed in Australia, most commonly, blah, blah, blah. Significant popularity in diverse range of countries in Australasia, Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Milk is great, or like I'll only have it in cereal. Is Milo available in the U.S.? Aside from international section of specific grocery stores, it does not market it in the United States. In 2017, it started appearing in shelves of supermarkets. But yeah, I'm sure there's other things here that would be a fitting substitute for it. Try Aldi, they might have it. Well, why wouldn't I just get some regular drink thing that they have here more commonly? It's probably pretty much the same thing. Or what is that stuff George liked in Seinfeld? I had never like heard of it or thought about it before. The cocoa bean, like that Kramer's teasing him about. I can't remember the name of it. Seinfeld chocolate drink. What was it? Bosco. Bosco syrup has been around. The delicious syrup you remember is a perfect addition to your dessert favorites. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It must have been pretty common, but yeah, cultural references. It'll be fucking. It'll be on here. Seinfeld. In season 2, episode Seinfeld, the baby shower, George Costanza reveals it was Bosco that Elaine's best friend Leslie threw on his new red collar shirt. Oh, but then it also is his secret code here too. Shows Bosco as his ATM pin because of his great enthusiasm for Bosco chocolate syrup, and Kramer figures it out. I haven't seen the show. Yeah, I didn't even know what that was. Okay, see you tomorrow.